The top leaders of 7 cities came together to review the past and look to the future at Wednesday's annual State of the Cities luncheon. Could have been worse. Sure could have been better, too. Hi, and thanks for joining me again this weekend. And thanks again to Kathleen Wayland of Wayland Financial in LaSalle for sponsoring this weekly project. And thank you to the Illinois Valley Area Chamber, also known as IVAC. Bill Zenz and that organization have been active and engaged, celebrating business and commerce and the people who are in that arena each and every day. And IVAC does a great job connecting these businesses for the good of commerce and for the good of the economic health of the region. It's dedicated to keeping people informed for the good of commerce and our communities. So IVAC may actually be due some more consideration, and IVAC members should get more respect than to have to listen to speeches that normally were boring laundry lists of stuff. There's no question that street repair and other infrastructure are crucial to good business climates, but about 230 people didn't cram into Grand Bear Lodge Ballroom in the middle of a weekday to listen to laundry list after laundry list from all these mayors. Not the venue for that. I'd like to ask any mayor on that dais how important their list of completed projects, big and small, might be to the 200 other people in the room who can't use that information in any way to do business better themselves. There's a more effective way to make more of this opportunity that IVAC has provided each year. I coach public speaking when I'm not actually speaking for a living. We wanted to hear not just what's been done, but what's going to happen each quarter over the next year, and then what things are going to look like in 5 years and 10 years, and not small things. They're big goals, an articulation of planning and vision that inspires the other mayors on the dais and the 230 people in the room. But more importantly, a vision that should be at least grasped by most of your city's populations. When your constituents are clear on your vision, whether they agree with it or not, it means that you're doing about the right amount of communicating if they're able to feed your message back to you and you're living like a leader. This is the same kind of thing I usually tell speakers. Not everything is worth other people's attention. Simplify your message and then amplify your message. Think of the huge opportunity that was missed when a mayor approaches a once-a-year gathering like this. It's not a good thing when the MC has to hold you to giving concrete visions of what's ahead. The only people who weren't unclear on each mayor's message appeared to be the tables that each mayor had filled with his or her public employees. They're there as moral support and as subject matter experts. Excellent. That's great. Everyone could use that kind of support when they're speaking in that situation. But strong support sometimes suppresses actual feedback on what the boss is saying and how it was said. So the 7 mayors spoke. Common topics included attracting businesses and grants, as well as enhancing the quality of life in Starved Rock Country in general. I'll summarize alphabetically by city name. LaSalle Mayor Jeff Grove did offer an engaging and memorable presentation that took the form of Family Feud. Key issues for his city include quality health care, an enhanced downtown, continued development of Rotary Park. Full disclosure, I did text Mayor Grove afterward and complimented him on his presentation. A little more of an update on the Maytag and Hotel Kaskaskia properties, what the city's doing to hold CL accountable for their dispositions. I would have appreciated that. Moving on. Unlike lifelong resident Grove, Oglesby Mayor Jason Curran discovered his city as an adult. He said one thing that attracted him was the quality of life here. He also talked about attracting development to Oglesby's West End near Interstate 39, and that's something that a lot of people have long been hoping for. Ottawa Mayor Robert Hastie talked of strong growth in downtown Ottawa with the addition of 6 new restaurants over the last year, as well as other improvements to that section of the city. He also spoke of grants that have totaled $93 million, somewhere in that neighborhood. Ken Kolowski of Peru repeatedly stressed his city's $70 million in December sales tax and called attention to his city's push to add industry to the city. You can see that in the opening of the new GAF facility on the north end of Peru. Spring Valley Mayor Melanie Thompson discussed improvements to their downtown and enhancing their recreation options. Streeter Mayor Tara Bidai spoke of improvements to that city's parks. I give her a lot of credit for this. She shot straight when she shared the sobering statistic that her city of just over 12,000 people made 13,000 calls to police last year. She was Throwing that out there as a fact. Utica Village President David Stewart said that he's hearing concerns about reduced parking at the north end of Mill Street. A number of new structures are planned for that general area as part of the market on Mill. The kiosks are expected to be complete this fall, and Stewart noted that the village also has bought a nearby parcel which will become a new lot to help out with parking. That's really a very, very quick distillation of what was a very, very long program. But I get it. Let's put ourselves in these speakers' shoes. Okay? We're going to be facing a room full of peers and rivals, and we want to impress them. So it's tempting to just list all the good stuff that's happened. It's impressive enough. It's showing recognition to the people who did all that hard work, who are there. They deserve that recognition. A room full of peers and rivals will appreciate that on some level. It's comforting, but it's not influencing. And at some level, a mayor needs to influence, inspire, challenge, lead. We don't see enough of that. Think of other speeches discussing the state of something, the union, the state, the city, businesses. It should be more than a list. It should be more than informative. It should prompt action. Like having another mayor come up to you after the event and proposing a joint project, or an audience member connecting officials from a couple of different cities to help address a need that business has, or connecting city, county, state entities on anything you can think of. It's an opportunity, and whether you're Joe Biden, J.B. Pritzker, or an Illinois Valley mayor, you're not making the most of that state of the whatever opportunity. So I suggest some ground rules for next year. Hold everybody to a time limit. Within that time limit, mayors can only take a certain amount of time to look back. The rest has to be forward-looking. And then I'd ask Bill Zenz to have a service transcribe all the remarks and have them posted to the IVAC website so every mayor's vision for the business community is clear to everybody who wants to see it. It's harder to do this than to do what they've been doing. I'm sorry. I know. I've learned in my career it's worth the extra time and effort if it improves your chances of getting your audience to understand you and to act. It's being an influencer, and that's what I've learned over the years. It'll pay off if you work a little harder at the start, not just where you've been, but where you're going and how and why. You can watch the IVAC event on YouTube, Star of Rock Media's channel there, and you can judge for yourself. We keep the Tom's Take weekly videos up there as well, so you can check those out if you're so inclined. Thank you to IVAC for all their ongoing great work and long hours, and for endeavoring such a huge project every year. Mayors, next year, show IVAC you've given the event all the time and energy and attention it deserves. Kathleen Whalen, thank you for sponsoring this Sunday morning cup of coffee. I always appreciate your help. And thank you for your texts, your emails, and kind words about Tom's Take in general. I'm always looking for ideas for this thing, so give me a call at the station offices at 815-223-3100. I really enjoy talking to you, finding out what matters to you, and it makes me do my morning job a little bit better too. I'll talk to you in the morning.